Well, hello again, it's me Alex, and I'm going to the river to swim, and you're always invited, and many thanks that you are with me, and you are listening to my boring stories. And when I go to statistics, I can see that, to my big surprise, I have some views, not many but some, and that's great, and I appreciate it very much. And today's topic is about live and unlive English, if I could say so. So-called unlive English, and how I understand it, what I think about that. Okay, so it's again about education, and we have two types of textbooks. One type, it is the books are written by foreign writers, native speakers, and then the other type is the textbook written by Russian teachers. Alright, again, so I wouldn't like to blame anyone for a bad textbook. And that is not the point. The point is to give you my opinion. So let's start with the books written by Russian writers. Okay, we have mostly that kind of stuff when we teach our kids at state schools. Because there's some kind of list of approved textbooks, and most of them, if not all of them, I think all of them, probably 90% of that list, is textbooks written by Russian writers. Of course, they are skilled, they are qualified, no doubts about that, but in the end, sometimes we have unlive English, so-called unlive English. So you can buy nowadays live water, you can buy nowadays live beer. How do we understand the difference between live water, live beer, and unlive wines? Well, if you boil the water, you kill all the bad stuff. If you make beer which can be used for a long time, you add some stuff which kills special type of bacteria, and this beer can be used for a long time. But it's unlive water, and I love unlive beer. In other words, dead water and dead beer. Okay, so the stuff is okay, but still we prefer to drink live stuff, not the dead stuff. Okay, because we understand that it's better for our organism and it's better for our health, and we pay more but we prefer a lifestyle, a live stuff. Okay, so a live stuff concerning textbook. A live stuff in a textbook means that you can hear a lot of native speakers. You can repeat after natives, and perhaps in that way it is better, because your ear and your tongue is getting adapted to the native speaker, native language, and it means that you get alive English, and what is about it. Why is it important? Well, because language, you know, it's an organism and it's not a dead thing. Organism means that it grows, it changes all the time, it's in process of development, and it means in turn that every day something new happens, something new words are being added, and some words become dead in language and disappear from language, or come back again. So it's a process of changing every day, every week, and the same thing with other languages, including Russian, of course. We use a lot of new words. They come from different spheres of life, from computer or information technology sphere. It's probably the most favorite field from where we use new words, or political agenda, or our day-to-day life, and you can hear that in the streets youngers, they speak absolutely different language. Okay, so it's concerning the style of language for young generation, and it is about a different vocabulary for younger generation. It's absolutely normal, and just the signs of development in a better or worse way, but the language develops, it changes, and I repeat it again because it's like a living organism. So that's why it is important to use textbooks written by natives. And on the other hand, it's a problem here, because you know that when we talk about grammar, for example, it's so difficult to explain all these rules in English, and I prefer to explain grammar in Russian, and probably it's easier to turn from English to Russian when you explain difficult parts of English, when you talk about classics, when you talk about classic literature, and for better understanding, for understanding the depths of language, to understand the roots of language. Sometimes you have to switch to Russian, and in that case textbooks written by Russians are better and useful because you can give more information in shorter time, and students understand it easily. Okay, so but of course you lose authenticity, you lose colors, you lose up to day changes, day-to-day changes, and so you lose a lot using only Russian textbooks. And you know how it works. Some books were written long ago. Of course, I can mention such kind of bestsellers written by Bonk, and written by other famous Russian writers, but we live in a different world, absolutely. But sometimes Russian modern textbooks, I mean Russian means that the English books are written by Russian writers. So these books, they usually take a lot from the past. Okay, it's another level, but the principles of the book are the same as it was 20 or 30 or maybe 40 or maybe 50 years ago. Okay, so it's two different directions how the books are written, and you can use a lot of useful things in both directions, and probably the mixture is the best thing. And what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to use a British method, British textbooks, but I record some kind of adaptation to it. So it's a mixture, it's a combination between Russian writer approach and a British writer approach. Okay, so that was the story for today, and I'm wrong with the clothes I took to the river because the weather forecast again was so terrible. But as you see, you cannot see any snow on the path, and when the sun comes up, it's absolutely warm here. But I took a rucksack full of warm clothes, and I have to pay a toll for it because all these warm clothes on a bike, and I have to ride on a bike with a lot of weight. Of course, it's heavier than when you take very few things with you, but nevertheless I'm coming to my best place on earth, and I'm going to swim. Okay, no, the water will be cold, but it's my pleasure, nobody forces me to do that. So if you have any comments, please let me know about it. I'm saying goodbye and see you again. Alex Pushkina, bye bye.